it. What did you do that thing to me?
It's now time for a fourth pitch, and that's Scribblog by Machas and Machas. So I will pass on the mic to Machas.
Is the mic working? Okay. First of all, thank you everyone for coming today. I really appreciate it. And today I will proudly tell something about Scribblog. As many of you know, blogging has become a job today. In 2013, bloggers earn more than $40 billion. $40 billion. I know. It's a ridiculous amount of money. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, at the same time, 81% of all those bloggers don't even make $100. And only 9% of them can make a living out of it. I've been in this position. As a student, last semester, I spent my time abroad in the Burgundy School of Business. And as you can see, I have horrible selfie skills. But anyway, I traveled a lot. And after a few trips, I started to wonder, like, hey, maybe I can start writing about it. And maybe I can share my experience with it with anyone who is interested in it. So for writing a blog, you need a website, of course. So I literally Googled how to make your website. And it isn't that easy as it looks. So that's when I reached out to Matthias, who is an IT expert. And I asked him, like, hey, can you make me a website? And how much would that cost me? He told me, like, yeah, it's possible. But it's quite stupid that you have to pay money if you want to give something to others. So that's how we came up with Scribblog. Scribblog comes in the sweet spot between WordPress and Medium. And as you can see, while WordPress has a horrible user experience, Medium do not reward their bloggers. How do we compare ourselves with our competitors? Well, basically, Scribblog delivers the full package. We have a shared home screen. That means that readers as well can discover new, interesting bloggers. We share a major part of our ad revenue. We have a great user experience. Why? Because we work together with over 250 bloggers who deliver their feedback, and we use this to create the ultimate blogging platform. When I say we, I actually mean Matthias, because he's the person who developed the entire ecosystem. So it's basically all around text. But that's not all of it. We also looked further, because recently YouTube also announced that they won't reward any vloggers who have less than 10,000 views on our videos. We think that's ridiculous. So that's why we also implemented the possibility to share videos, and also memes and so on. So it's basically just the full package that we deliver. Now, how will we make money out of it? As I said, we share a major part of our ad revenue, and we take at least 30% of the advertisements. So we not give it all away. At the same time, how will we become successful? By launching a viral marketing campaign, which will be very soon, and because of the fact that our blogs will be easily shareable, as well as videos, through other huge market platforms. Now, a second thing I want to say is about how we will reward our bloggers. We will have 3 different tiers, and the first tier is for those bloggers who write at least 1 article a month. We will give them 50% of our ad revenue. For those who write 2 to 4 articles a month, we give them 60% of our ad revenue. And for the bloggers who write 5 or more articles, we give them 70% of our ad revenue. So that's also a great incentive for them to write even more. So the principle behind Scribblog is the more you write, the more you earn, and the faster you grow. Now, a little bit about our product timeline. As you probably can see, we just started in 2017. So we're the youngest of them all, but we made a huge amount of progress. We started with the development of the Scribblog ecosystem in 2017. In March, we already validated our market fit and signed our first contracts, and also a lot of agreements with international ambassadors. In May, we launched our beta product. Our website is already up and running, which is nothing compared with what it was in 2017 because of the feedback of all those bloggers. And at the end of this month, we will also launch our application, within which you will be able to post something within 2 minutes. So it will be so easy. So it's all based on the user experience. Now you have to listen very carefully because this is important. In September, we will give away a mayor trip with the value of 4,000 euros to the USA or Asia. Anyone can participate on this competition. So keep Scribblog in mind, and you might win that trip with a value of 4,000 euros. With this trip, this will be our huge marketing campaign. We want to reach 1 million page views a month, and also raise 100K in order to scale Scribblog internationally. Now, I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't reach out to Matthias. Matthias is also the co-founder, and he's the person who works day and night to make sure that we reach our deadlines and that we can launch our application as well at the end of May. So special thanks to him, of course. While I'm more in charge for the more general parts, the commercial and the financial part of the company. Now, probably something else that is one of our strengths. The competition says, "Do goes global." Well, Scribblog goes global as well. Thanks to our international network, we established more than 17 ambassadors in more than 17 countries. Yesterday, Dinan called me from France because I already introduced him with Scribblog, and he also told me that he wants to become an ambassador as well. As you can see, we have ambassadors in Mexico, the United States, Canada, India, basically just all over the world. And what these ambassadors do is they basically make sure they have their own marketing campaign. I call them once a week to ask them how they are doing it. And they make sure that they attract new bloggers in order to scale Scribblog as well. So they have a lot of responsibility, but also a lot of freedom as well. Now, at the same time, we also have a lot of strategic partners. We already have, me and Matthias, over 5 years of experience with startups, but we know that it's even better if you can let yourself surround by people who have over 40 years of experience with their expertise. So that's why we let us back by legal players, financially, technically as well, and also probably the most important part is the general part, the coaching, especially because they made sure that we could establish these partnerships in such a short amount of time. So special thanks to the coaches of Now about the future, we're very optimistic. That was also thanks to Ernst & Young, who helped us with that. We want to raise, as I said before, 100,000 at the last quarter of 2017 in order to reach 1 million page views, which I said before. That 100,000 will be used to exploit our new marketing campaign and to implement our recommendation software. With this 100,000, we want to reach 25 million page views a month at the last quarter of 2018. And it's at that moment that we want to go very big. With 15 million, we believe, and we know, that we will become one of the biggest platforms that is available to become one of the biggest players that are right now on the market. So we can hit 150 million page views a month, have over 15,000 bloggers, and become, at the end of 2019, one of the leaders in blogging platforms. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, or if you want to support us financially, if you're interested in it, feel free to ask any questions afterwards. I'll be happy to answer them, as well as Matthias. So thank you very much.
I don't know who he is, but I think that you do.
That you did an amazing job. Now it's
Thank
time
you.
for the jury to ask questions.
Shoot.
You mentioned you had some contracts already running.
Yes.
Or, can you explain a bit more about them, and do they pay for your products?
No,
For example, Odigo is one with the contracts. We basically mean the strategic partnerships. So, for example, Odigo, they help us with the fact that they, with the startup, the shareholders agreement, the starting advice, things like these. Refibo, who helps us to be compliant with the international rules to make sure that we're not doing anything illegal. I see you want to say something else.
It's not that it's first customers. It's
No,
more
we already have
partnerships.
customers. We already have the content to use.
Thumbs up to Lean.
Thumbs up to Lean, for example.
She's one of our bloggers, and Gilles is over there. There's another Belgian blogger. So yeah, they are here to support us.
We already have bloggers. We already have Julie as well from France.
Yeah.
And are they paying
What?
or not?
No, they are not paying. They are getting paid by us with ad revenue.
So these are the first bloggers that we have. We already have the permission to use content of 15 bloggers. And they know it's still in the starting phase. So that's why we also reward them 100% ad revenue. Because they don't earn anything at all right now. And because they believe in our project as well. And that's why we reward them, because they're the first ambassadors of Scribblog.
I think I have an additional question on this, in fact. Have you already made a kind of a plan to attack the advertisement sector then?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, at this moment, we just use Google AdSense banners. So, what you see on normal media websites as well. But we know that people start to use ad blockers and stuff like that. So we are actually working on sponsored articles, like reviews from certain products. Just articles that are sponsored, like you see on other platforms nowadays. Viral lists, stuff like that. There are big BuzzFeed, like for example, is a really good example of that. They do it as well, and it works really well, and people like to read it, but it's sponsors.
Any more questions?
If I saw it correctly, the figures you used for the number of bloggers was from 2013, correct?
Yeah.
So, in my experience, as I used to be one of the UGen bloggers as well, but not anymore, the blog market is decreasing. Have you incorporated this in your financial forecast?
Yeah, but actually it's not decreasing, it's increasing. If you look like the startups as Medium, for example, the last year they really skyrocketed. It's getting more and more easy to start with blogging. So more people are starting with blogging. We see that actually it's still increasing. There will be a platform, but we found studies for 2016 where there were over 60 billion revenue. But yeah, it's just one study, so we didn't include it in our.
The difference between that study was that those figures were just from one independent company, while the 40 billion is being backed by 3 independent parties. So that's why we included that figure. So the figures we found were even better than what we used in our financial plan, just to make sure that we do not have any surprises. So that's why.
I think it's something that's not widely known, so I think put it in the slides.
Okay.
No more questions. So
Okay,
again,
thank you.
thanks a lot for the presentation.
Who is he? And